Hi everyone, it's Alban. This week is the first week of the new season of Fresh Identity, and I wanted to talk to you a bit about opening rituals. So for those of you who don't know, Fresh Identity is a 3 month exploration towards greater authenticity. So we work together in one-to-one, and you have the opportunity to release whatever narratives don't serve you any longer and to step into what it means to be you today. And the first week of each season is all about opening ritual. And sometimes that's misunderstood. So I thought it would be a good opportunity as we go through this season to tell you what that's all about. So let me start by what an opening ritual or rituals in general are not. It's not about candles or lights or specific music or a certain way to dress or anything else like that. If it supports you, you can do any of those things, but this is not what it is fundamentally about. I recognize that some people might have some real difficult views around rituals. If you have had difficult experiences with organized religion, you might find the idea of ritual a little bit off-putting. If you do not understand what they are about, simply you're seeing it as some sort of a practice without a meaning, that's also quite disconcerting. So today I want to try and address a lot of these things. So essentially, a ritual is about framing a situation. It's about focusing on a particular topic. For the purpose of today, I am going to talk about an opening ritual, and we'll really concentrate on that. So we have all come across the expression holding space. When you work with any coach or mentor or healer or guide, you will come across this word, holding space. That's great. But how do we define that space? How do we start it and how do we finish it? And why is it important to do so? So an opening ritual essentially is about landing into that space. So if you see yourself entering a room, before you do whatever you want to do in that room, you want to be able to go through the door, close the door behind you, put your coat down, get yourself settled, and then do whatever you're here to do. Well, essentially, an opening ritual, an opening ceremony is precisely allowing you to do that. So what does that contain in practice? It addresses 3 elements. The first one is to deal with the practicalities. It's what the onboarding element is all about. That might sound like a very corporate term, but actually in any endeavor, if you want to feel relaxed in what you're about to get into, you need to understand the framework, and you need to know that the framework is solid. You need to know that you are held. You need to know that everything is safe. And to feel safe, the practicalities need to be sorted. So in Fresh Identity, in this first week, in this first session I have with my clients, I make sure that all the practicalities are clear. Do they know how to contact me? Do they have access to material if it's relevant? Are they happy with the way it's functioning? Are they clear about the times and dates of their sessions and so on? All the practical stuff. I cannot express strongly enough that this is absolutely imperative. Just because you do something that might be seen as what used to be called the soft skills, the development, the healing, it doesn't mean that you mustn't have that strong framework. That puts the mind at ease, and by association that puts the body at ease. You calm down, your nervous system calms down, and you know what you're expecting. You don't have to worry about this. So this element of ensuring that the framework is clear is a big part of that opening ritual. The next element is to make sure that you know why you're here. What are your intentions for that's work you're embarking into for this season of Fresh Identity, or for any other work you do on growth or healing with any other practitioner. Do you know what you want to achieve? Now, I want to be clear and say things change in the course of 3 months or whatever the duration of a particular program or container. Things are bound to change because you, as the person journeying, the client, are going to evolve. That's the whole point of the process. But also because life happens, there are things you will not have foreseen, things will evolve, and that's perfectly normal. However, it's very important that you have an intention from the outset, because if you don't, you're floating. You basically don't know why you entered the space. Now, if things are done properly, that will have been addressed already as part of you joining whatever program you're getting into. But in the same manner as for the practicalities, it's absolutely essential to frame that again at the outset of getting into the doing. So that first session, first week in our case here for Fresh Identity, is about clarifying what your objectives and intentions are. Likewise, it's about you making sure that you are clear about your guide's approach, method, and the vibe that they're bringing into it. It's your last opportunity to make sure that it is right for you. So it's you knowing which intention you're bringing into the space, and it's making sure that you are aligned with what method your guide is using. And that is also essential for the very same reason. It clarifies things in your mind and it settles things in the body. So you're entering the endeavor, if you want, with a clear landscape. The third and final element that is crucial in these opening rituals is the element of plugging into each other's energy. And it's equally important at the other end of the process to unplug, and I will address that later on in the season. But for now, when you work with someone, what it is all about is two people, or more if it's a group, connecting in their energy. You are seeking out a particular healer or guide because you feel that what they are bringing into the room or into the space is what you need. So you have felt something from their energy that you want to tap into. And they will have done their work so that they will have checked that you are a client that they are comfortable working with. And that's perfectly normal and healthy for them to do that too. But at this point, you are not just talking about it. You're not just liking the general idea of working together. You are starting to work together. And you need to plug into each other's energy in a healthy manner. So this allows you to connect spirit to spirit, if you want. If the other two elements were about the body and the mind, this is about the spiritual connection from the outset, so that you've got that healthy, holistic way to get into what's going to happen in your development for us in Fresh Identity. So I hope that gives you some idea of why it's important to have these rituals, and also to get away from whatever fears you might have about it. It is not complicated. It is not particularly set in a certain way, although some practitioners might want to do it in a certain way. What matters is for you to understand the reasons, the principles behind those opening rituals. And as I said, they are about getting the practicalities right, knowing why you're here, and connecting healthily in each other's energy. That's all for now. I'm going to do some other videos throughout the season to give you some ideas of what can happen in our container. If you're interested in some further information, go to the info page. I'll put a link somewhere. There is no way to connect with me in that space for this season. That's now completely closed, but you can register your interest for the new year when the next Fresh Identity container will be run. That's it from me. Bye for now.